Welcome to The Weekly. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Chris.
And this week on The Weekly, Star Trek 2D20 2nd Edition. UltraPro celebrates the 50th anniversary of D&D.
Okay.
A bundle for Paranoia's 25th anniversary.
Oh, okay.
Hasbro is making Euro games.
Okay.
And China upholds copyright. Surprise,
okay.
surprise. Yes. So quite unusual. So let's start with something that was, I don't know if it's necessary, kind of surprising. And the comments underneath are, what exactly is this? Is this just a, refining, or is this an actual new version, a new edition? Modiphius launched Star Trek, the Star Trek Adventures, the 2D20 RPG in 2017. And
well, that's like 8 years. No, 7 years.
Yeah. So it's been a while. And they are announcing, or they're going to be releasing and announcing at Gen Con this year, a starter set and a new 2nd edition book. And this is interesting because this is the longest, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what the press release said. This is the longest, maybe best relationship a publisher has had with the Star Trek property. Like, people kind of it kind of comes and goes. It's not an easy thing to hold on to because maybe, CBS or whoever held it previously was a little funkier with dealing with tabletop. But they will be releasing, so Star Trek Strange New Worlds is going to be kind of the theming and the look. A lot of the artwork will be more reminiscent of that than old school Trek or Next Generation. So the initial release, the default setting was Next Generation. Okay. I believe for the 2nd edition, kind of the default setting is the prequel-y kind of setting of Strange New Worlds.
Oh, all right.
With Spock and Pike as opposed to Kirk. And so they have licenses to include all of those characters and that setting, plus the Star Trek Prodigy, kind of the kids version with what's her face from
couldn't tell you.
Voyager, the captain from Voyager. So this will be
Janeway?
Yeah, Janeway and a bunch of kids. So I think that's on Netflix now. It's bounced around.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be a starter set, just like previously. They're going to do a starter set and then a core rule book. And the idea for this is kind of to answer the complaints that people had, is they don't want to play only Starfleet. And so they did release a supplement where you can play as Klingon, where it's a source book for all Klingon crews and all Klingon characters. But this book will allow you to include everything that you want. So from the beginning, you can include all the well-known species of Star Trek, Klingon, Romulan, and all those good Cardassian, all those great people as player characters. So they existed as NPCs and adversaries, and you'd interact with them. But your characters they gave you a list of acceptable species that, according to the timeline that you're playing in the Federation. And so this artwork, so the theming of everything will be kind of chase the Star Trek, the Strange New Worlds popularity, and maybe the people that have come to the property from that, and now you can play the game that feels like that. So the project manager, Jim Johnson, said, Phase 2 of Star Trek Adventures is giving us the opportunity to refine the award-winning rule set, taking advantage of all we've learned and published for the game for the 2D20 system over the last 7 years. And since Star Trek presented a diverse setting from the very beginning, I felt it is important that the cool rulebook present a more diverse spread of character possibilities beyond the Federation. You'll see a selection of playable non-Federation species in the core book, expanding your group's gameplay possibilities from the start. What, they're all going to be on separate ships then? I don't know. It's like, wait a minute. But so they've had a lot of success. They won awards, and they also just released the solo play, the Captain's Log solo play version, which is kind of a modified, stripped down 2D20 that allowed you to run as a single character, heading a crew, heading a ship. And Chris Birch from Modiphius was quoted as saying, so you can see it in people's eyes when they talk about Star Trek Adventures, that the RPG is really bringing something quite special to the table. 7 years ago, we set out to tell a new story in the Star Trek universe and to bring us all together to explore strange new worlds. So whether you're a new crew coming from the table or old friends, I think 2nd edition Star Trek Adventures will be the beginning of your own 5-year mission with all the wonder that entails. Okay, I guess I didn't need to read that, actually. But anyhow, marketing. And so, yes, that's kind of what they're doing. They're saying that they're going to make a snappier, smoother edition that's going to correct. And we kind of ran into this too. The ship management and combat is okay. That could use a little tightening maybe. So combat, ship management, character creation, and more complex tasks are going to be refined and a little easier to deal with. But they said, the nice thing that they said though is all of the previous supplements, adventures, and everything will still be compatible. They're not making any big changes so that all those books are now obsolete, which led a lot of people to say, so is this a new edition? If that you're not changing it enough, why are we buying a new book?
But I have to think that, okay, as someone who hasn't played exactly like one session at 2D20, I have to think that like 2D20 stuff is largely compatible with other 2D20 stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because there's just things that kind of get renamed and drop away, or yeah. So like Dune doesn't use the D6s; it's only D20. So yeah, just minor variations that kind of help the theming and help the mechanics get closer. Yeah. So all of this will be revealed. The thing that I liked the most about their initial release, that the new streaming series, I guess it is streaming, I don't know, but then all the new Star Trek it's not episodic. It's all serial. Everything is one long stupid storyline in the whole season. The wonderful part, and what we really enjoyed playing with Star Trek, is the weekly adventures, weekly episodes. So you just, confronted this mystery, confronted this thing. Does the Prime Directive apply? Am I being seduced? What's happening? I feel weird. There's all kinds of fun stuff in there, and then you just kind of reset, and you
back on the ship.
Yeah. So
bye.
And but also too, then some of the NPCs and some of the crew that you create. So you're kind of filling out your ship, because you don't, unless you need someone for a away team or whatever, they don't exist. But there's obviously people in medical or people in security that you can call upon. And so then when you create them, then in the next episode, they can,
if necessarily, like they pop up right around. Yeah, no, I like episodic stuff too, because then like a couple episodes in, or even like next season, you're like, remember these guys from season 1, episode 4? Dun, 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 right?
Yeah. So I liked a lot of how they did the episodes. And I think if they're going to lean into Strange New Worlds, Discovery, Strange New Worlds, Picard, it was all a huge season-long story. So it's going to be more campaign. We're not there yet. The big bad is going to be after 20 sessions or whatever. You're kind of the climax of this story. So I don't know. They're going to have to make adventures differently, I think. And if they're keeping the Star Trek Adventures idea, I think it was episodic. So I'm just worried that they're going to change the focus. But they have already released the Lower Decks, the animated series, a source book for that, and for all of the, and maybe not Picard, but for Discovery. So they have those source books for those different timelines and stuff. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it changes anything. But I like the 2 compendiums that they released with the original game. Those were really fun adventures and felt just like an episode, of Star Trek. So we'll see. But we're in the middle of this amazing year. This amazing 50th.
Oh, you mean like the year of like 6mm, rampant? Yeah, it's going to be an amazing year. Yes, that's all I'm focused on. Yeah.
The year of 6mm. Yeah, so there is a 50th anniversary that no one's really caring about so much. People aren't really doing much about it, but UltraPro is here to change all of that. Okay. So UltraPro is releasing a whole line of 50th anniversary D&D stuff, and it's, if I cared about this and if I was into this would be great, because they're only going to do this once. It's of course, kind of premium and expensive and silly, but it would be a fun way to enjoy the fact that this actually happened instead of just having to ignore it. But he says UltraPro does, they do all the card deck sleeves, boxes, card sleeves, all the stuff for your gaming accessories. And what they are producing is an entire line of 50th anniversary accessories for this summer.
Unless it's like made from like dragon hide, like actual dragon hide, I am uninterested. Man.
So they are doing a line of heavy metal dice. So they're calling them gold colored, because I don't want to say So they're gold colored metal dice in the whole array, the D4 to D20 for $50. So there you go.
Okay, depending on the size, that's actually less expensive than I've seen other metal sets of dice. So,
that's true. Yeah, the price points were for UltraPro, they're kind of their premium prices, but compared to like what's available out there, it's not as daunting. It's no Beetle and Grimm price point. And then they're doing a dice tower, of course, with the 50th anniversary logo on it. That's $50 as well, $49.49. And there will also be gold and red dice scrolls available. So I guess inside of a box, you can roll your dice up in a scroll. And book folios, because you got to, all that stuff that Wizards produces, you got to put it somewhere.
Yep, too bad Wizards is moving online.
Yeah, right. I don't know what you're going to put in here. You can put your dreams, your broken dreams in there.
Crushed and broken dreams, yeah.
So 10 single pocket pages for your character sheets and notes and things in a little folio, so kind of a character binder in leather, and a 6 pocket for your spell cards. So you got your little spell book, you got your little character folio.
Spell cards sold separately.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. And you have to go buy those spell cards. A character journal, which is a 250-page dot grid journal to write all of your notes in.
At what price?
$29.99. Yeah. But each page is watermarked with the D&D ampersand. So there you go, value added. All right. And finally, and this is something I'd never seen before, and it's kind of the books come so damaged. If you buy them from Amazon or whatever, the books come so damaged, who cares about protecting them? But they're releasing to theme this kind of, they're doing like this leather and red kind of, velvet looking thing, theming for all this with gold lettering, book covers for all the default book sizes. So those are $35. So yeah, you're getting up there. You're
okay, you know what? I'm down for the book cover because that allows you to put any other book you want in the cover.
There you go.
We're playing D&D, right? What are we playing? D&D? Can I see what's on the page? No.
That's right. You can pretend you won't get your books dumped. People be, oh, you're cool. You're 5e. You're cool. They'll let you pass. But so I thought that was interesting. I hadn't seen that before.
The book cover is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's kind of a neat idea. But so this is really the only people that I've seen do much of anything. I mean, even Wizards themselves is not like, we haven't gotten big pushes for what they're they're doing some plastic things, some baby red dragons and plush toys and stuff. That's about it. Yeah. So there you go, UltraPro. Thank you so much for for making this 50th anniversary. And if it was just, I wish they would have done some, because Wizards has the rights to those, so like the old logos and stuff, done some of the like old D&D logos and stuff. That would have been a little bit more fun and nostalgic. It's just the current corporate ampersand that pervades everything. So happy 50th birthday, D&D. UltraPro has your back. But if you want to celebrate a better anniversary, a nicer anniversary, a younger, fitter, more vibrant anniversary, you can go with the Paranoia 25th anniversary mega bundle. So Humble Bundle is doing it's pretty large. It's actually
large.
Yeah,
that's
32.
That's a long list.
Yeah, 32 books, and you can get into it for as little as $1. So for $1, you can get the Little Red Book, the Trader's Manual, and the materials treasonously deleted. And this is the Mongoose edition of Paranoia. $10, you get 10 books, so everything included, plus a lot of other stuff. The Thin Green Line, the Underplex, the Extreme Paranoia, Criminal Histories, the Mutant Experience, so more and more supplements. And then the highest level is 18 for all 32 bundled items, and that is a whole lot of everything, including flashbacks, redo, the Troubleshooter's Core Book, Internal Security, High Programmers. Yeah, so you're going to get all the way to Ultraviolet by the time you have read all of these books.
Hope you got your clones ready.
Yes. So embrace the absurd. This setting, if you don't know Paranoia very well, it's dystopia meets slapstick humor. There's mutant powers and treachery everywhere, and the computer is always right. The computer is your friend. Yep. So you're basically, subjected to this, this horrible dystopia where sometimes you'll be requested to kill your party mates, and everyone has a clearance level. So basically, they're the level of access to the world. So you report any noncompliance immediately, citizen. So praise the kind computer with this gigantic set. Yeah. So this is a good chance if you've been curious about, because it's been around forever, right?
25 years, given it's a 25-year anniversary.
Oh, so it's not. Yeah. Oh no. So this is because I remember. I guess that's 25 years. This must be the more.
You're asking me to do math.
No, this is the more recent iteration, but I thought the original. So this might be since Mongoose has done it. Yeah, maybe this is Mongoose, because I remember Paranoia in the 80s very well, and that would be more than 25 years. Yeah. But this is everything that's been produced in its current stewardship, and and they even did. Oh yeah, I've got right here. They did a really cool starter set. Mongoose did this amazingly. Oh, that's right. I'm behind the chat. Amazing little starter set that's got everything you need to do. It's not starter rules. It's not anything like. It's the full rules, full books, everything you need to play in this tiny little box.
That is a.
Yeah, it's hefty because it
looks like a little box.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Yes. Yeah. So they did a really nice starter set for that as well. So if you don't like digital, I think that's a really nice option to get into the game because it's full books for everything you need. The player's book and the game master's book. You're good to go. I mean, there's probably a lot more art and a lot more theming in the larger books, but so Mongoose Paranoia, happy 25th birthday. All right, so you've been waiting for videos. You've been waiting for me to post videos and maybe an edited actual play, a new lore video, something. But I've been unable to focus. I've been unable to concentrate. I've been unable to really buckle down and get stuff done. But I have a feeling that is changing.
Okay.
Right? So, so previously, I mean, most of Upturned Table has been powered purely by coffee. I basically over caffeinate myself in the morning, and but in a few hours, I've spiked and I am dragging, and I have to either drink more coffee or do something to keep focused. But that has all changed because of this little bottle. There we go. Yes. So this is actually an energy shot that you can take with coffee or by itself. And what it does is it kind of smooths out the release of caffeine. It kind of gives you a steady amount of energy instead of that regular caffeine spike. Because in the past, people have experimented. Remember, like bulletproof coffee or coconut oil in your butter or coconut oil in your coffee to try to slow down the release of caffeine. Yeah. And that just doesn't do it. Plus, it has a lot of cholesterol. It makes you really fat because you're putting butter in your coffee. And then energy drinks, Monster and stuff. That's once I said I can't do more coffee. Let's try energy drinks. The calories, the insane amount of calories in those didn't make it worth. Yeah, and still the spike. And still the spike happened, still the drag. But I'm here to tell you about Magic Mind. So Magic Mind is something that you can take by itself, or it can help supplement what you do with coffee, and you can drink less coffee. And that's the thing. That's a situation I'm in now. Is I cannot drink more than a cup of coffee in the morning without starting to feel jittery, and my stomach just can't do it anymore. Yeah. So I'm either killing it with milk or something to help polish it off. But so I've heard this promoted in various places and got to give it a try, and it works. So basically they give you they say after the first 3 days you have you're feeling kind of the full effects of it, and they recommended trying it for 5 days to see if it actually benefits you. And I did feel the sustained energy and focus and less stress, because I guess without that jitteriness, it takes away a lot of the things that, like, if you got if you're multitasking, you're not going to be able to concentrate on anything because you're stressing yourself out with just, I got so much to do today. I got so much to do in the morning.
Well, as someone who thinks their brain works better with multitasking, otherwise you just get bored. I'm kind of honestly curious whether or not this would help with my focus or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so as far as ingredients, so it's meant to support kind of your mental energy, your focus, and reduce stress. And also because you're not overdosing with caffeine. So if I have coffee after 4 p.m., I'm not going to sleep at all. I'm gonna really get a bad night's sleep. So this sustained release of caffeine means you're going to sleep better because you've had your caffeine earlier in the day and it's not lingering. So and the ingredients themselves are all natural, so sourced by the best suppliers, as they state. So no sugar, they're nut-free, vegan, keto, and paleo friendly. So the ingredients are basically green tea. So what is the sustained caffeine release is green tea. There's mushrooms and herbs that have all been sourced with credible history as actually being effective, and the combination of those. So I've tried. That was the one thing that I did try, is to give up coffee, is just go to green tea. But it does start so slow. So I think the added benefit of the herbs and mushroom supplement for energy and focus helps a lot, because we're in Japan, so there's a lot of green tea, and just green tea does not.
By the time it kicks in, you're already asleep.
Yeah, I've already got nothing done for the day. So, if you would like to try this and see if it works for you, we have a URL you can go to. Nice. So I'll put that in the description. Okay. So if you go to magicmind.com/upturned, so magicmind, MAGICMIND.com, and upturned/upturned, UPTURNED.
There's that focus working for you.
yeah, there we go. And we also have a discount code. Ooh, nice. So if you go to that URL and use the upturned 20 discount code, so UPTURNED 20, you can get 20% off of any purchase. But if you get a subscription, which is basically 30 doses, which is a monthly subscription, so they give you 30 bottles, 56% off a subscription.
Wait, 30 bottles or 30 pills?
30. Yeah, 30 bottles for 30 days, 56% off.
Gotcha, okay.
If you try. And so that's the best value to try it because it'll give you the lowest price per dose. So I would recommend giving this a shot if you're having that same sort of problem, and expect to see more videos and more exciting content on the channel because I am focused and I am de-stressed and I am clear.
Was that pun intentional?
No.
Give it a shot.
Give it a shot. Oh yeah, give it a shot. Yeah. And actually, compared to a lot of the Chinese medicines and stuff that over here, this tastes wonderful. Like it has a very mild taste and is not like one of those like you're not grimacing after it. And they do recommend serving it chilled. So check out magicmind.com/upturned and the whole story of how they kind of came up with this solution over coffee is there. So thank you, Magic Mind.
Yeah, I actually do want to try it. Yeah.
And now back to our regular scheduled program. So, Hasbro, what are they up to these days? We have got some Euro games coming, at least one Euro game coming from Hasbro. It's like,
okay, Hasbro already made a Euro game, or I'm thinking of like Lords of Waterdeep or whatever.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. So this is a big push, and they've got a big name designer, so they're kind of going all in on this. So the designer of Rising Sun and Blood Rage is behind this. So Life in Reterra, I believe. So it's a what they're basically calling a meteor version of a Carcassonne. So yeah,
you know what? I actually do enjoy Carcassonne. So, or as I like to call it, Carcass One. Anyway,
right. So yeah, the tile laying, acquiring, placing tiles, and creating community spaces. So yeah, this is the their new attempt, and they're going to go under the they're not using Hasbro. They're going under the same branding that they did with HeroQuest for this as well. So it's a little funny. I guess they're just trying to try to sneak this by us. But of course it's Eric M. Lang that is doing the design for this, and Ken Gruel. So yeah, this is an all new game, all new tile laying game, which players gradually grow their communities by placing tiles and adding either buildings, gears, or relics on each of their turns. And then they have extra abilities and effects will happen as they build things up. So this is a kind of Hasbro's like first real way to try to get a Euro game into mass market, because I guess Waterdeep is kind of themed in a way that's going to only attract kind of D&D fans. So this is a kind of more generic, just board game friendly. And saying Lang is a good choice for kind of deep strategy games. If you played any of the things, Cthulhu Death Must Die, Rising Sun, Blood Rage, and the stuff he's done. And so they're trying to get people to these, I guess, more sophisticated games, because Hasbro has had success with things like Disney, or there have been games like Disney Villainous, they're not Hasbro, and Wingspan that have brought people more into more complicated tabletop gaming. So they're releasing this. Oh, that's right, under the Avalon Hill. So
Avalon.
Okay, so there's not going to be a Hasbro branded, which might help people not hold their noses quite so much when they buy it. But in the past, both HeroQuest and Betrayal at House on the Hill,
just a mouthful.
Yes, we're both branded that same way. Okay. So we'll see. They're going to try to release this in Europe. So good luck making a Euro for Europeans. And it'll be released with a French and a German version coming soon. So of course, because Hasbro has to do this kind of nonsense, this English version release is going to be exclusive to Target stores in the US. Great. So why do that? But anyhow, they got a good deal, I'm sure. But so I thought that was an odd, but it's good. they're going to aim for a price point of about $30 US. So yeah, as opposed to like what you're saying. And if you want the, the really gorgeous crowdfunded Euro games are not anywhere near $30. They're closer to $100.
I wonder what the box footprint is, right? Because if it's the size that kind of like Paranoia thing, because like $30 is what you expect now for kind of like a smaller board game. Heck, like $29.99 is what you expect for kind of like a mid-sized like card game.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that's good. And I think because it's going through the kind of big box retail, they can actually do that. So we'll see what kind of success they have because. Yeah, working with Come Eric Lang did a ton of like really big kind of Ameritrash, like tons of plastic, but great game, right? Yeah, great game mechanics, but a lot of crazy stuff. And also, I guess he did some fantasy. He worked with Fantasy Flight when they were still a separate thing. And so this is an interesting approach, and we know that Hasbro's in trouble, so they got to try something to get themselves out of the bad Christmas season to have that. The Black Friday actually means something again, where they actually can make a profit. So, interesting choices. And I was surprised to recognize the name. And then when I saw Hasbro, wow, okay, that's odd. But I'm sure he's getting paid well. If he's designing for Hasbro, that's got to be probably a bigger paycheck than he's seen for a while. Yeah. And maybe a little bit less work because it's not, so, a lot of his previous games had kind of pretty big setting, a pretty big, kind of theme and setting and stuff. So there was a lot to support from the games, but no Adrian Smith artwork in this one. So I'm not so interested. All right. And finally, what timeline is this? What world are we living in?
The worst one?
Yes. China has issued the world's first legally binding verdict on copyright infringement for AI images, AI-generated images.
I'm interested.
Yeah, so this is interesting. So China is the first to do this. So previously, we read about China actually supporting. This sounded like it was more, the influence of the party and somebody had favor and somebody didn't. But somebody had reused some AI-generated art from somebody had a project where they did AI-generated art and somebody took and put it on their website. Right. And so they sued them in court and actually said, yes, this is copyrighted material. You can't do that. So this is kind of that was a smaller court, smaller decision. So this is kind of bigger and reversing that because this involves the Ultraman IP. So
the Japanese Ultraman.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So the protagonist of this case, and so I guess that would make it international and kind of a bigger ruling because it's people outside of just China and their internal politics. So the protagonist of this case was the Super IP Ultraman, and the copyright owner of the Ultraman works exclusively with the authorized copyright of the series images to the plaintiff. So exclusively authorized the copyright. So the defendant operated a website providing services and of AI conversion and AI generated painting functions. So the plaintiff found that that when requesting the website to generate Ultraman related images, the photos generated on the website were substantially identical to what the plaintiff had licensed. And in addition, the AI drawing function of the website was a member exclusive service, which required a fee, so required money. So they were making money on this and spitting out copywritten images. So the judge showed that the images were generated by the defendant partially or completely copied the original work. Therefore, the defendant copied the work without permission, infringing on the plaintiff's reproduction rights. In addition, reproduction, not reproductive rights. And some of the generated images formed new features based on original expression, but not enough. So the infringing they infringed the plaintiff's adaptation rights as well. I guess there's both direct duplication and adaptation. So so that the waning enthusiasm for investment. Somebody warned. I guess this was the deputy director of consultation and research for strategic issues at the Chinese Academy was interviewed for this article, and it was said that this may be an attempt to this kind of waning investment, and people are kind of losing their confidence in China, and this may be a show of Your copyrights are safe here. Your IPs are safe here. Please, partner with us. We're not gonna, run away. We're not gonna, it's not gonna be the Wild West, and people aren't gonna run away with stuff.
But it's still AI, so it's just the Wild West.
Yeah, right. So this was the Guangzhou Internet Court, and they emphasized that considering the fact that the generative AI industry is still in its early stages of development, it is necessary to find a balance between rights protection and industry development. And that's one of the clearest, statements you've heard. All you're hearing these poverty stories from OpenAI. We don't have the money to do this legitimately. Please let us steal. But they're actually saying, if we're going to move forward with this technology, we do have to find a balance. We can't just trample over everyone's copyright, or we can't make it impossible, make it so financially prohibitive to develop this technology because you have no data set. The data set would cost billions of dollars.
Pay people for their data set.
Yeah, right. So very interesting. But ultimately, the court ruled the defendant has to compensate the plaintiff for 10,000 yuan, which is about $1,300. So not a huge judgment.
Not a huge, but still.
But this is precedent. So internationally, people can point to this and move forward. And we talked about previously, end of last year, November of 2023, a Beijing court upheld that an AI generated image was intellectual property. But I'm sure the guy that owned that had some friends in the correct places. So that was kind of the first testing of the waters. But so fortunately, we've had basically we're going to have to rely on Europe and China to keep America from being, not being the insane monsters that they want to be as far as just pillaging.
Oh, but just related to AI.
Yeah, just related to AI. But, as far as just pillaging, then we're letting their tech companies do whatever the hell they want and just like trounce all over everyone's, privacy, data rights and everything.
All that stuff you wrote that we're hosting for you. We're selling it now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So interesting. I was really surprised to see that story. And it's, I hope that this is, a legitimate, that they're not just doing this basically to be more business friendly, right. That they are legitimately interested in making this work and making sense of what kind of this strange future we're going to be dealing with, where you're just going to be regurgitating and, again and again repeating the same words and images infinitely by the algorithms that decide to regenerate them.
Gross.
Yes. So China actually has a little moment of clarity there, and we'll see how that goes.
Let's hope it spreads to the rest of the world.
Yeah, right. But I'm sure if the party has anything to say about it, there's going to be some more bad decisions coming down the pike. But that was very interesting. So they made a mistake, and now they're trying to kind of correct it, and we'll see how that goes.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah. We'll see. So maybe D&D will finally make it back to China once they have proven that. All right. So that's going to do it for this week. So where can people find you?
Blue Sky, Instagram, and not Tumblr anymore. It wasn't really there anymore to begin with, but whatever. Okay. Anyway, that was a dig at saying Tumblr's they're going to sell their data set for AI. It's great. Yep. So it's Hyvynd, HYVMYND, where it's just a hodgepodge of stuff, but mostly little people.
Okay, good.
How about you?
And me, sometimes, not very rarely, currently, very rarely, I can be found drawing my cartoon, Domestic Abuse. So abuse cartoons on YouTube and Twitch. And if you want to read the cartoon, 20 years of it are on GoComics. So gocomics.com/domestic abuse. And I will get back to live streaming as soon as humanly possible. But scheduling, I can't find a day of the week that's actually going to work. So I'll keep working on that. But if you like what we're doing here at the Weekly, please consider becoming a weekling.
The strongest of all supporters.
Yes, so you can go to patreon.com/upturntable. And basically that lets us know what you want to see more of. You can connect to us and message us on Patreon. You get the entire audio for this live stream on the RSS feed, so you can listen to a nicer audio version directly if you don't want to watch us make funny faces. And of course, then this live stream, the podcast part of it, will go out as a podcast wherever you get podcasts, as well as will be re-uploaded onto YouTube. So thank you for joining us. And so Upturn Table on all social media. We'll see you next week.
Later, mortals.
Goodbye.